And joining us now is Ryan Martin, who is with Louis Dreyfus Company. He's a soybean buyer, and also you hear him all over the state talking markets as well as weather. So, Ryan, been a while. Welcome back.
Good to be here, Ken. I hope things are going well for you and yours and everybody over the region.
Well, a couple things we want to talk to you, and the reason why I like talking with you is not only are you immersed in the markets, but you bring a little different look as you look at it weather-wise. And as we go about our conversation, I want to talk more about that as you see kind of this growing season play out. But let's maybe first let's kind of tackle these markets from a higher point where we've been all over the place since the first of the year. The pandemic's opening up much, and with the economy going strong, so have the commodity markets.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all been predicated on supply and demand. And this goes all the way back to last fall when we finally started seeing China come to the table making purchases of products. Since then, we've seen weather play a big role in South America. Did it or didn't it? It depends on who you ask, really impact the soybean production down there. We know it's impacting corn production right now because of superb dryness in the southern part of Brazil's growing area. So that's the second crop corn area. And we know Argentina got whacked hard. So that's the supply side. And then on the demand side, China continues to buy. Now, all of a sudden, we've got tight balance sheets here. And there's a lot of hand wrangling as to whether or not we've reached the tightest level yet. And it depends on whether you believe what USDA is printing as a reasonable number or if it's actually below what we have seen happen over the past few weeks, Ken. Interior basis levels tell us there's not much crop left here.
Well, that's what it seems like. We continue to hear folks taking phone calls and normally don't get calls from originators looking for grain. One thing we do know here in Kansas is the sorghum market is still extremely hot. That is one that looks like is going to play out well into next year after this year's crop is harvested.
Yeah, and it's for two reasons. First of all, sorghum excitement has already started to build again in China. They've been working on getting some more milo purchases, sorghum purchases. But also remember, if we're talking tight crop on corn, there's some play back and forth between switching out for sorghum on feed versus corn. Will we see more sorghum go into these ethanol grinds? So there's all that at work as well. And it really sets the stage for, I think, a very nice potential marketing story for sorghum, not just here for the old crop, but maybe even going into some of these new crop plantings.
Quickly, let's talk about what we see in the acreage shift. We talk about it every year. It always seems to kind of go back into order, but looking at maybe more soybeans.
Well, and it's not anything to do with price. You know, if you look at, and these are markets that I'm looking at right here, if you look at these numbers as where we finished out the week and what the soybeans and the corn did, both of them have gone up substantially. I don't think you can make an argument corn versus beans except on the crop input side, Ken, and that has been the story. Fertilizer, way up. Chemicals now, outside of fertilizer, whether it's your herbicides, pesticides, way up. And if you had not gotten those numbers locked in before on corn, those are the guys that are thinking maybe about switching to beans. Now, is it enough to make a big shift in our overall acreage numbers for the country? That remains to be seen. But Ken, that's where the shifts are going to come from.
Ryan Martin from Louis Dreyfus Company is joining us. We're going to take a break, come back, and get his outlook on what could happen this rest of this year for weather. We'll do that in just a moment.